(1300) WIMG and WPHY Channel 25 proudly presents Today's Topic on Trenton Talks. Today's Topic is a program that discusses the topics that are important to you. And now, Today's Topic.
Good evening and welcome to today's topic on Trenton Talks. I'm your host, Skip Bailey. You're listening to us live on WIMG 1300 AM, and we also can be heard worldwide on the internet at WIMG1300.com. And if you're watching us, we're coming to you from WPHY Channel 25. And today joining me is Miss Jennifer Mealy. How are you, Jennifer?
Hello. Hi.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Good. And we're going to talk about today's topic. Mentioning topic is transformation.
Yes.
Which is a good topic to talk about because there's all sorts of transformation. I mean, we transform pretty much every minute of the day because you're not thinking the same thought every second of the minute.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right.
You just thought of something else different just now, didn't you? Yeah, so I know you and I, we spoke briefly before in reference to the topic transformation.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about some of the transformation or the things that you've transformed from the person that you were before you've gotten into your licensed profession that you're in right now.
Okay.
So first of all, let's talk about your profession that you're in right now.
Okay. Well, I'm a licensed therapist, and I have a private practice in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and I do workshops on meditation and wellness and transformation as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you help people transform.
That's right. I
To
do.
do with their transformation.
That's right.
And so today, we're going to talk about your transformation.
I know. I'm going to put on the spot here.
Which is good. It's all good.
It is all good.
Yeah, we're going to get through this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your transformation. You want to start from your childhood or your teens or your, where do you want to start from?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could start with my childhood,
Okay.
you know, and I think it is a good segue between what I do and my own transformation because it's really how I'm able to do how I'm able to help people is because of where I've been. And I grew up in a single parent home. My father pretty much was absent ever since I was as early as I can remember. I probably have only, a couple of memories on, one hand of him as a child. And so that was really, really hard. My mom was, extremely stressed all the time and we didn't have any money, so we were on welfare. And, it was a lot of struggle at that time.
Struggle,
yeah.
So as a child, okay, when did you first realize or get to understand that you were living in that type of situation as far as the struggle?
I think I always knew. I think I've always been really perceptive and intuitive, and I just have my earliest memories even just being in like a car seat. I can remember being extremely anxious and hypervigilant all of the time. So I was definitely a very anxious child, and I remember worrying from a very, very young age about my family and worrying about their well-being because my mom and my grandmother were always so anxious, and I always wanted to take care of them and alleviate their stress. I actually remember I would always tell my mom I would say, instead of relax, I would tell her to be rax all the time because I was just like, Mommy, be rax. So I was always one of those kids who was thinking about everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting that you can remember doing, going through that and thinking about those things.
Yeah, I think that's, why I do what I do today is because I really did, my life, there's some people who have worse experiences than I do, but, I was such a sensitive child and I didn't have any way of expressing how I felt that I suffered a lot, and I suffered for a very, very long time. And as the years went on into my teens, developed into depression, a lot of insecurity, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. I just thought this was the way, my life was, and I used to see myself as different as everyone else. I just thought, well, it's meant to be. I'm meant to be different. These people have like such great lives, and I grew up in Plainsboro, so I'm growing up around people who have a lot of money and they have a lot of things. And I remember feeling very embarrassed and very insecure about that.
So far as feeling depressed and sad, how far how deep was it? Okay, I'm trying to dig real deep, real quick in you. As far as like, how far did it take you? Meaning, was there any dependency on anything? Far as, you know, I mean, the things that myself, you know, far as my past, some of the things that I was upset and sad about, I mean, caused me to do, I got involved with drugs, okay,
Right.
in a young
Right.
age, well, teenage. So with yourself, I mean, did you go through that path, or did you go down that avenue?
Well, when I was a kid and I was a teenager, I actually was like really straight-laced because I was just so fearful of doing something wrong. I was pretty much so focused on my studies and like doing my homework. Like it was like, but it was to the point where when I look back now, I see that it was so rigid what I was doing. So my dependency was on structure, and I was dependent upon doing what other people wanted. I was dependent upon the approval of others, and dependent on wanting to, you know, I had an addiction to my thoughts, you know, to my negative thoughts. It wasn't until I went to college and I had a really intense breakup with a boyfriend that I started to turn to smoking marijuana. Normally in college, you know, you're just kind of experimenting with it, but I found, and it wasn't something that I did very often, even in high school, I wasn't a big partier or anything like that, but I had found this breakup that I had was so intense. This was my first boyfriend. It completely came out of the blue, that when I found out that when I had smoked, that it actually numbed all my pain. And I was like so relieved because I was in so much pain. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So then I developed a dependency on that for a long time. But that wasn't until my early 20s. And then I believe that that dependency was just a cover-up for the emptiness and the pain that I was experiencing previous to all of that. And that this boyfriend that I had was actually kind of filled the void for a little bit. And then when he was gone, there was that space that opened up.
Wow. And you know, listening to that, and one of the joys that I get of you and I speaking and doing our shows, that we're not afraid, and we should not be afraid to go there, talking about what we're talking about now. I mean, that's why, that's probably, well, that's part of our job that we're trained to do. We said we're going to, you know, do this and to help people to overcome their obstacles and help them to transform. So in order for us to really speak out on it, we have to reveal our own.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't speak too openly about this. I speak, you know, my friends and, you know, people know, but I haven't really talked about it publicly. But, you know, when you start to really uncover what we've all, you know, we've all gone through, is that, you know, everyone's got these struggles, and we all have, you know, have our addictions in certain ways. And, you know, I didn't know what else to do at the time. You know, I was just kind of going with, you know, the moment and impulsively, you know, what's going to just make me feel better in this moment. And, you know, for the longest time, you know, I didn't know, you know, that I could actually feel better. I remember when I was in college and I was studying psychology, and I looked in a textbook and I saw it said generalized anxiety disorder, and I was like, oh my God, like, anxiety, what's this word? Because it wasn't a big word, you know, 10 years ago. And I was like, I think I have that, you know, like, and I just remember like a light bulb going on. And then over the years, it just was kind of like light bulb moment after light bulb moment. Wow, okay, like, there is something here. There is an answer. There are other people who feel this way, because there was no discussion about moods or emotions or feelings in my entire life. I mean, no one ever addressed anything.
Right. And, you know, and a lot of people don't even understand and know that they can transform. A lot of people get stuck in that spot and don't know that there is a way out, you know. With me getting involved with the drugs, how it came about with me, how it really got serious, my music playing. Not that the music caused it, but I was playing with this famous entertainer, and we were scheduled to go to England. So I took a leave of absence from my job for like 4 months. And at the end of the 4 months, I had to make a decision to go to England or to stay here and continue working. And of course, I just got married and all that stuff. So I decided, I made the choice to stay here. And after that, I beat myself up for it. So the cocaine was my friend, was my Band-Aid.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, the substances, they keep you company, and they keep you in this cozy cocoon until you start to see that, you know, as time goes on, you're just kind of, you know, on repeat. And, you know, I wasn't emotionally growing. You know, I was just stunting my feelings.
Right.
And, you know, I had a lot of work to do, you know, after that. But it was the first time in my life, you know, when I realized, like, okay, like, you know, I can't do this, you know, this is not helping me. And then I had a lot of work to do, getting, you know, my own therapy, you know, and really starting to learn how to feel my feelings, because I had never felt my feelings before. I had stopped feeling them for so many years. They were all bottled up inside, and I was just like a functioning robot, like everything's okay, you know. So,
and you know, and being that you said that, and I've experienced it, but I hear other people, you ask them, people that are going through situations that we sit and talk to, you ask them those questions, that's how you feel. They say, well, I don't know. Actually, at that moment, they really don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's, like you said, so bottled up, there's so much there, just like having a bunch of ingredients in something, and you ask them what's in there. Well, I don't know, it's just there.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's the natural tendency for us to swing to either bottling our emotions up to then really feeling them so intensely that they feel out of control. And we usually swing back and forth between the two. And being in the middle is, you know, the healthier place to be, but we haven't been taught how to do that. So I spend a lot of time teaching other people, as well as practicing with myself, how to stay, you know, in the middle and get back to balance.
And I used to know, my mother used to say to me, you know, don't allow no one to steal your joy. But in reality, I was stealing my own joy. I was allowing my situations and the drugs and stuff to steal my joy. So, I mean, I heard her say that, don't allow no one to steal your joy. But I heard her, but I really didn't hear it because I was my own thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you thought the joy was in these outside things, and so did I. And, you know, you just kind of trade one addiction for another. So then, you know, okay, so now it's not substances, you know, now it's my work, you know, or maybe it's not my work and now it's another relationship, or, you know, maybe it's not this relationship and now it's food. And, you know, keep just, you know, I've kind of been there with all those things, you know, all those different things. I found that I was looking for something. I was looking for that to fill me up. And it would feel good at first, and I would get some sort of like hit, like, yes, okay, I'm like ignited now to move forward. And then it would happen, I would just crash when that thing changed, or I got bored with it. And I didn't have anything in myself to fill me up until I realized that the answer was inside.
And I'm glad you mentioned the other ones, the food and the work, because, you know, although people are listening, and I don't want them to think that we're just stuck on talking about drug addiction. No, because there's all sorts of addictions. Like you said, there's food, there's gambling, there's all sorts. So, you know, there's transformation, and out of that hole, all of those different holes there are, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they all are different versions of the same problem, and that same problem is feeling lack inside and looking for something on the outside to give you love, when the love is actually within, and we start to tap into it, we can actually generate it on our own. And until we're able to actually do that and receive what is this gift we're given to be able to do that, we won't even see it on the outside from somewhere else.
Absolutely. This is good stuff. When we come back, we're going to talk about how the transformation starts, how to start transforming.
Okay.
You're listening to today's topics on Trenton Talks. I'm your host, Skip Bailey. You listen to us live on WIMG 1300 AM, also on the World Wide Web, WIMG1300.com. And if you're watching us, we are viewing us from WPHY Channel 25. We'll be back in a few minutes.
If you're looking for the perfect dentist to fit your needs, you need to call the Find My Dentist hotline. We're a free service that finds quality local dentists matched exclusively to your needs. We've been helping customers just like you find the perfect dentist since 1986. Many people want to go to a dentist, but they don't know how to find one that's right for them. So we do all the searching for you. With thousands of quality dentists nationwide, whatever you need, we can help you.